Hello again, guys. Today's video is about Oculus Quest 2, so I'm just gonna unpack it and give you my first impressions. So, when you start unpacking it, you see a cardboard box, which looks fairly standard and normal, but when you try to open it, you actually see that Facebook has done a great job into turning something which doesn't really look great into a fairly sleek and modern packaging. So when you open the box, you see the Oculus Quest 2 headset, along with the two joysticks or controllers, and then of course the box, which includes the charging port and USB-C cable. Okay, so now on the controllers are sturdy. I don't know how to actually handle them and use them, but yeah, you can see it's pretty much intuitive, and I directly got the right position. So the buttons are okay. It feels like the one thing I can say after playing it for some time with it is that it actually feels like you actually hold on to something when you press the hold buttons, and when you try to shoot or do something, it really feels like a trigger. So they've done a great job in designing and crafting these two controllers. They fit perfectly in my hands. I can't really tell about anyone else, but I would imagine they're pretty much universal. And you can see the headset comes with essentially two things which are kind of packaged together, and the one is the head strap and the other one is actually the glass separator. So the head strap, many people go for the Pro directly and they buy the one where you can actually spin it to tighten it, but I feel the normal one is alright, and I do enjoy and like it. So now to the fun part. Actually using the Oculus Quest 2 is so easy and intuitive that I can't really start going on about. There is a feature where you can actually use your hands in the menu instead of the controllers, and it reads your hands pretty well. But here you can see I'm using the controllers. In the bottom right, you can see me and my camera, and the actual thing you see in the center of the screen is a cropped up image from Oculus, because the resolution, of course, is not the same and you can't really see it. I can either use the square resolution when sharing or enlarged one, which is rectangular, but then you lose some of the information. So here I play one of the most popular games for VR, or for Oculus at least, which is Beat Saber. I'm pretty sure you've seen many people play this game. It's like tap tap dance, but essentially VR, and you cut notes instead of pressing keys. It's very cool. I usually play the sound packs, because there are sound packs with different artists, but I wasn't sure which artists it's okay to put on YouTube and which not. And this run is from a volume which comes with Beat Saber, which I know should be copyright free, I hope. But yeah, I just wanted to show it to you. It's pretty easy and cool to use. I'm not really the best one at the game, but you can get a feel for it. Also, essentially in Beat Saber, you can speed things up and you can slow things down, which is pretty cool. Only with one game you actually get the feel of what the whole VR is all about, and it's all about you being in control, you actually doing some physical activity instead of just pressing keys. It's actually exhausting. If you play like 5 or 10 songs, you will be sweating like a lot. And I find it a really good way to actually exercise, which is fun, because you're playing a game, yes, but in the same time you're exercising and you're burning your calories and everything without the need to essentially do anything which seems to be tedious, like an exercise or anything. So it's pretty cool, and I can see how there are applications where it's like for fitness and anything, but I feel playing a game is a better way to do fitness than actually doing it for the sake of the fitness. And you get some cool visuals, yes, it feels when you slash the notes, especially in Beat Saber, when you slash the notes or you do anything, it has haptic sensors, so you really feel you're in the game. There is also an option for, especially for Oculus Quest 2, to air link with PC. I have a cable, so I can connect with a cable, but having a cable and VR is not the best experience. At least from my point of view, because you have to care about where the cable is, what the cable is doing, where it's untangling and anything, and you can't really see it in the VR because what you see in the middle of the screen, that's everything I see, so I don't see any of my surroundings. There is a camera which you can enable, but it breaks the immersion. So yeah, I would say they've done a great job, and this air link feature is really the way to go instead of using cables. And I like that it's standalone because I've tried PSVR and it's pretty cool, but the cable and the fact that you have to care about not to I don't know, break something with the cable or trip over the cable, it's really a bummer, which you don't really have with Oculus Quest 2 because it's really lightweight. You don't really feel it on your head. I was going about the Airlink. I haven't really showcased the Airlink, I think, so we won't see any footage of it, but Airlink is a very cool feature where instead of using cable, you just connect over Wi-Fi to your computer and you can have many screens, you can open up applications, you can control them. What I actually do is I enable, because what you see now is RoomScape boundary, so you define a guardian not to break any like walls or anything or bump into a wall while you're playing. You define a guardian, which is like a virtual wall which prevents you from going outside of your defined area. But also there is a second option, which is stationary boundary, which is just draws a circle around you and that is your guardian. And what I ended up using is actually, because I prefer a keyboard for typing, if I'm gonna be honest with you, typing in VR, it needs some getting used to, and I'm not really used to it. But if I use it for coding, then I just prefer having like infinite screens, and if I turn around I see all screens. If I turn up I see a screen, if I turn down I see a screen or an up, and it's amazing to control your PC with VR, but not with controllers. So what I do is I turn on the experimental feature for hands, so I can see my hands in VR, and then I type with my actual keyboard. I can use my actual mouse, but it's easier to use your hands. But if you prefer, you can use your mouse and just use the VR in terms of having multiple screens, seeing things better. You can drag things so that they're closer to you or further away. Beat Saber is, yes, maybe the most popular one, but it's not the only game. There are thousands of games for VR and thousands of productivity apps. I have one which is like building a mind palace. You can build your own mind palace and organize your thoughts and notes and anything in VR, which is a more useful medium, in my opinion, than using Trello or any of the other like conventional computer methods. It's getting crazy here in Beat Saber. But there are also other games which you see in a minute. One last thing about Beat Saber is that you don't have to really do only these songs, which are copyright free, but you can do, there are music packs. There are modifiers as well where like the notes disappear and anything, but that's not a review of the game, so I won't really focus on that. But there are music packs also, which you can choose like your favorite band, and maybe they have a music pack and play their songs. The immersion is much better for the music packs than the normal ones, and then you have other modes too. I haven't really explored them, so, and as I said, that's not a review of the game. But yeah, there are other games which are pretty nice. The next one I'll show you is called Superhot. Maybe you've heard it for PC, maybe you haven't. It's very different for VR, because in VR, for example, you can block actual ammunition with your weapons because they're metal, and when you hit metal, you can slice through bullets, which is pretty cool. You can throw things around. You have better control, I would say. And you can clip through the walls, and you can duck. You can do a lot of stuff you can't really in the non-VR version. Also, you can see I like to just goof around. You can see me throwing things around. And here you choose the modes with floppy disks, which is so cool. And then you put on your virtual VR and then your actual VR. And you can see I've enabled this overlay, which says how many calories I've burned in this session. You can see I'm moving around the actual room, smashing some guys. One of the most annoying levels for me until I learned how to throw things. I like the game. It's one of my favorites. It's a very good workout as well, and it's very fun to play. Again, it's not a review of the particular game, it's just a review of what you can do in the actual VR. There is also VR chat and rec room, which are like multiplayer lobbies where you can essentially drink virtual coffee and have fun. So there are lots of things you can actually do in terms of games, maybe more than productive things, but in terms of productive things, you have stuff to do as well. So one of the productive apps actually that I wanted to share is called Gravity Sketch, but let's first quit Superhot, and then you can see in the menu I actually have Firefox Reality, and here is the Oculus Air link which I was talking about, where you can essentially connect to your PC and use the VR as a controller. The VR also has a microphone and speakers, so you can use the microphone and speakers in VR, and you can talk with your friends or on Discord or anything with VR. So Gravity Sketch is one of the productivity apps. It lets you sketch in 3D, which is pretty useful, and you can move around the 3D space with the controllers or like physically move, and you can move things around, create different shapes. It has lots of useful tutorials. You can hear one of the tutorials playing in a second, where they explain how to use different things, and I find it really cool, not only for artists or people who just want to build and draw things, but also to visualize maybe something that is harder to visualize on paper or on screen. You just go inside and draw it, maybe take a screenshot or maybe quick cast to PC. What I'm using, by the way, to capture my screen in VR is I use quick cast. So yeah, that's pretty much it from me. You can see I'm writing bye in this, and I need to move things around for you to see it. But yeah, that's essentially it. I love VR. I would love to make an application for VR or anything, and we can share the journey. But I just wanted to share it with you. So bye, guys, and see you next time with some TensorFlow videos. Bye bye.